Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the poems in Eikyū hyakushu on the topic of cicadas, or semi. As a poetic topic, the essence of semi was initially that they were noisy, as anyone who has spent time in Japan in the summer can vouch for. Listening to the cicadas on a summer day was such a part of life that an additional sense came to be the idea that this evoked thoughts of home when out on the road travelling. Finally, as the insects were short-lived, there were associations of brevity and transience, and thus also of sadness at this too. We'll see many of these associations in the poems the poets in Eikyū hyakushu composed. Yamakawa no iwakosu nami ni uchisoete, tani hibiku nari semi no morogoe. Mountain torrents cross the rocks in waves, along with the echoes in the valley from the swarming cicadas' songs. Here, Akinaka provides a very traditional poem, with the roar of echoes from a cataract in the mountains being equated with the roar of the cicadas singing. Azumaji ya kesa tachi kureba semi no koe, takashi no yama ni ima zo nakunaru. Upon eastern roads this morning do I set my foot, so cicadas' songs around tall Takashi Mountain now are sung. Nakazane's poem is in a similar vein to Akinaka's, but he uses some geographical imagery. His speaker is heading east from the capital. In this context, that implies away from civilization, and has reached Mount Takashi. If you're familiar with Japanese geography, it's on the western outskirts of Hamamatsu. His reason for referring to this particular mountain, though, is simply because Takashi, the place name, is homophonous with Takashi, be tall or be high. So this is another way of implying that the cicadas are noisy. Utsusemi no ide ga takute mo sugusu kana, ikade kono yo ni ato o todomen. A cicada shell is hard to reveal, yet endures. Somehow within this world a trace will remain. Toshiyori uses one of the most famous pieces of diction associated with cicadas, utsusemi, cicada shell, which referred to the insects' casings, which they cast off as they grew. These were potent images of transience and abandonment, so much so that it became the sobriquet by which one of the lovers of the Shining Genji was known, the word expressing her fear that he would just use her and cast her aside when he was done. Toshiyori's poem is quite dense and open to interpretation. Cicada shells were hard to find and see, and were abandoned, and yet they lasted longer than the insects themselves did. How could this be, he asks. What does it mean? He provides no answers, but leaves it to you, the hearer, to ponder the question. Sodekakuru nara no shizue ni naku semi no koe wa takaku mo kikoyu narikeri. Hanging upon my sleeves are the oak tree's bottom branches, where the singing cicadas are in such good voice that I hear them clear. Tadafusa is less philosophical. His speaker has gone out into the woods in the summer and is taking his ease under an oak tree shaded by its lower branches. He cannot rest, however, for the noisy insects are keeping him awake. Natsuyama no nara no hiroha ni kakuroete, kono wo kanomo ni naku semi no koe. In the summer mountains, in the broad-leaved oaks concealed, from here and there are the cries of singing cicadas. Kanemasa's poem is almost identical in imagery, I think. His speaker is in a mountain forest and hearing the cicadas calling from all around him. Miyamabe o hitori koyureba ochikochi no michi shirube naru semi no koe kana. When deep within the mountains, all alone I make my way, from near and far, my guides are the cicadas' songs. As a court lady, it's unlikely that Hego ever went out into the mountains entirely on her own. Far too uncouth. So she's using a poetic license here, imagining a lonely traveller, only guided by the cicadas, as they make their way along the path. Koe tatete, ikani nakuram, utsusemi no wagami kara to wa omoi shirazu ya. Raising up their voices, how they seem to sing. An abandoned cicada shell am I, empty. Are they all ignorant of that? Daishin does something a little bit different. Why would a lady be feeling empty and abandoned? Why? Because her lover has left her and won't be coming back. She's miserable and just looking for a bit of peace, but the cicadas sing on, uncaring of her pain. That's it for cicadas. The next topic will be water rails. See you then.